Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is a beer from Funky Buddha. Oh yes, I did some blind beers with Chad. I was just thinking, well, last time I had a Funky Buddha beer, but Funky Buddha, obviously a famous Florida brewery, bought out by Constellation Brands, and this is Last Snow, one of their most famous beers, 6.4% coffee coconut porter. Generally not my favorite since I've had it, but certainly a good beer, and very curious to see how this beer stood up. Extremely fresh. This was canned about less than 3 weeks ago. So beer comes in a beautiful deep brown to black color, pretty much a black color, wonderful medium brown, persistent head on there, medium bubbles. Let's get them on this one. Oh yeah. Smells pretty spot on. It's coconut. I mean, that's what it is. It has that kind of just like toasted coconut aroma to it. Not quite. Yeah, actually a little bit, it has a little bit of, sorry about that. A little bit of, is getting my face, but a little bit of this kind of, I guess it's the combination of coffee and chocolate, maybe leaning towards a little bit more that kind of sunscreen lotion kind of thing, the coconut thing that people get in beer sometimes, but yeah, not quite like poppy and jumpy like I remember the beer. Like, you know, there's times where this beer is straight up Mounds Bar Almond Joy, but yeah, good combination of flavors. Yeah, so just like the aroma, the coconut flavor really is more muted up front, and then it lingers on the back end with a little bit of like roasted coffee, like light roasted coffee kind of thing. Not kind of roasted coffee thing, but also almost like a kind of flavored hazelnut coconut drink kind of thing, like a Starbucks Frappuccino kind of flavor. It tastes almost as if there's chocolate in here added too, but obviously that's the roasted malt that you're using or darker malts that you're using. A little bit of sweetness rides in, but there's a little bit light snap of, again, almost like this kind of like chocolate bitterness coming in. Quite nice. A little bit oily, kind of toasted coconut flavor on the back end. For what I understand, maybe they're not doing it anymore, but this might be more of that kind of, you know, stabilized product using extract flavors versus the real thing, which would be actual coconut flakes in there, and that would definitely affect the head retention. I mean, generally, a lot of these beers you have, or coconut beers, you have like this oily substance dancing around there, all these like flakes of coconut. This clearly is not that. It's neither here or there what this beer used to taste like versus what it is now. It's still a good beer. It's still a good beer. Yeah, you give me this as a coconut porter. The coffee is probably there, right? I think a lot of people will miss out on the coffee. The coconut's just so obvious. But the coffee has a little bit of a twang of that kind of just like black coffee flavor, coconut black coffee flavor in there. So this is definitely in that kind of like confectionery kind of range. Definitely not your pastry stout, but in that sweeter style. Coffee and coconut are definitely ingredients to use in pastry stout. So it's good beer. It is impression beer, and when you have impression beer, sometimes you want it to smack you over the head. But then sometimes you want your impression beers to sort of be drinkable beers, right? This is like coconut coffee, like, oh wow, it's so like robust and all these big flavors, but sometimes you want it a little bit more drinkable, or you want to amp it up real high and make it something like that smacks you in the face you want small portions of. This sort of dances in the middle of that for me. Not that you want to drink a lot of it, but not that you want to drink very little of it. It's just somewhere in the middle, and I think it's just good coffee coconut porter. Where do I place this? I don't know. I'm not going nuts for this specific beer right now. If I want pastry stout, I want impression. So 88. It's good. 88. So this is Last Snow from Funky Buddha. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.